Mike is the name of my dog.
And he has one eye, but it's not
One-
why you think. Like it's not. That's not his name. Why you think? You know.
The reason why he has only one eye is because he was on a trip with his brother Bless, who is a Labrador,
He has a
and
brother?
Mike is a pug.
How does that
And
work?
I don't know. They're just brothers. They were raised together.
Wow. Okay.
Mike, even though he's the smaller one, he's the alpha, and he was on this trip, and there were other like street dogs. Well, not street dogs, but like they're wild dogs.
Yeah,
And
those homeless
there was an aroused female dog. She was,
She was
Your
feeling
Honor,
it.
Your Honor, she wanted it,
She was asking.
and they were like fighting to kind of like do the deed. And Mike
Wait, so
thought
it was a brother. It was a brotherly fight.
No, it wasn't a brother. It was like the the
Okay.
big dog. He was fighting with all the other big dogs as
okay.
well from the place. And Mike, the thing about small dogs is they think they're big. Like they are small
So,
dogs,
like you.
but they have big character, kind
Yeah,
of like big tempers. And so what they tell us is that he tried to fight too,
Bro.
and on the fighting, he got bit on his face, and on the process they like grabbed his eye, so his eye was all Nick Fury looking, kind of like, and then they just had to take it off.
Mike.
No, his name was already Mike. Funny enough, he ended up looking like Mike Tyson.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
That's
oh.
like that's like the whole. Well, the first time you told me about your dog, I was like, is
Mike
he named
Wazowski.
Mike because he like
No,
he has
he
one
was
eye?
destined.
Like, was he was born
I
with
think
one
that
eye?
the fact. I think my little brother destined that poor
Yeah,
dog
it's like
to be
naming
one-eyed.
like naming a kid Hannibal.
Yeah.
How do you not expect that kid to be like a criminal? Like he's gonna eat people. He's gonna play League of Legends. And he's gonna like drink a lot of Monster. and-
My second name is Hannibal. Brian Hannibal Cortez.
Okay, well that was everything for today's episode.
Anyway, yeah, enjoy.
Yeah.
So
well,
that is the story of Mike. Mike the dog.
that was
Mike
a great
the
way to
cock.
start. Should we just start episodes with like a random fact
facts.
of it?
Yeah, sure. Let's do
I
it.
guess that's our thing now. We're
Anyway,
finding everything.
Yeah. Welcome to your Mom Plays Mario Kart
Okay.
podcast. I'm Brian,
This is Manuel.
and we are happy to be back. This is our second episode.
We just recorded our first episode.
and we've
yesterday.
been through hell.
No, 2 days ago, actually.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah, we've been through hell trying
So
to.
we actually recorded this episode. Second
Yesterday.
episode. We recorded this yesterday.
But Logic Pro failed us, and half of the episode,
Like half
Emmanuel's
of my
microphone.
The first half of the episode.
Emmanuel's
you
microphone
couldn't
was
hear
not
me.
recording,
Yeah.
and then
He
I
was a
noticed,
sabotage-
and
he
I
was
was
a
like, "Oh
saboteur.
crap!" Yeah,
you were
so-
just like, yeah.
and it was
also-
good.
It was such.
It was
we were
really
like,
good.
we're like, this is the best.
It was
thing we got.
philosophical. I was like, "Dude, this
You
is
re-
gonna kind of like just throw us into fame." But
Yeah, this was what's gonna skyrocket it. You
Yeah,
know?
it's weird.
And this episode, like, yeah,
we
The-
might like eventually, like maybe we might like release the
Like the
half
out-
that
yeah.
worked,
Yeah,
and just
it-
like
but I
write
mean,
down the context.
Yeah, we're gonna
and
talk
stuff.
about the same topic.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
Why
about
is my
some
voice
topics.
look low?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. Talk.
1, 2, 3.
There we go. Are you happy now?
Yeah, because I
You
don't know.
always want to see it big.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shut up.
So
Yeah, so that was a fail, and also the camera.
the camera.
Like the first episode that we did.
we were at
the
Zozo.
Yeah. We were at Zozo number first of all,
Right.
which is a coffee house
Mhm.
here in Omaha. It's like apparently the biggest coffee
Mhm.
coffee place in Omaha.
In Omaha,
It is
yeah.
pretty big.
It is pretty big.
And the first, like the second half of the episode, you cannot see the video. And at first, I thought it was like, oh, it's either like a memory thing, or just like a battery.
Yeah, but it's just like legally
No, like, I looked up and it's like legally or something like that.
the camera.
The camera cannot
record any more than
like 20, 29, 30 minutes because then it's considered a video
That's
camera.
so stupid.
And what we're using right now, it's a camera. Yeah.
It's a camera.
Yeah, but it has like because it has like a good video camera. It's dumb. So we're learning from our mistakes. We're
Yeah,
like
give us money.
we're like learning. And the funny thing is like the episode that we recorded yesterday, we know what to do now.
Yeah,
we're like
and then
and then
we
we
like talked about it.
completely
We were so
fail.
boastful about it. Like, oh, we know what
yeah,
we're doing.
you know.
We did
And-
not know what we're doing.
No, and so yeah, we're also in a different place.
True. So
This
now
is-
we're
This is my bedroom. We're every
Emmanuel's
time
place
you're getting the intimate, look
Yeah.
at the where the magic
With
this is-
lights
this
and
is, This is
everything.
where the magic happens.
Yeah,
We're
indeed.
now bedroom artists.
Now we
we're
truly are
really
bedroom
leaning into the bedroom artist thing
art. Yeah,
because this is very DIY. Very
it's super DIY.
yeah. Because
Oh
it was
God.
like we were gonna go to the social coffee house,
and it's also
today.
super improvised. Plus, like
This is
hurried,
everything.
kind of like apurado,
Yeah, this is what.
rushed. The
but
English
it's
teacher.
but not terrible.
No, it's not bad.
I think we did pretty
I
good. We
mean,
made
it's
it.
alright.
I mean, it's alright.
Like,
you know.
Overrated as freaking
in
my opinion.
you know. But
Yeah.
we were gonna go to Soso, the same place that we
We
recorded the first
tried
episode.
to be.
We showed up.
We went.
like we showed up to the place, and apparently there was like a birthday party. And they didn't mention any of that.
Que chingue a su madre el cumpleañero.
Chingue a su madre el cumpleañero. We just like put the subtitles.
Yeah, but they did not let us know.
It like not on the website, not on their social media, nothing. Like it was nothing, you know. And we showed up, and there was like these two. You got a message?
Yeah.
We get
figure that out later.
Yeah, that'll be a little side quest for you.
Later.
And we showed up to the place, and there was like the sign though. There's a birthday party, and then
we had to like improvise.
Yeah, and not only that, there were like two ladies.
Oh, ladies behind us. They were like super rude. They were like,
super
well, like, there's a birthday party,
you?
so like please get out of here.
Yeah, how dare you?
Is it because I'm brown? Is it because I'm short? Is it because I'm a male?
We had no idea. We had no idea this party was happening. So
it was
like,
so rude.
It's not our fault.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, you know. So then we just were like,
walked.
I guess we can wait this thing out. You know, see if maybe the party finishes eventually.
And we like started walking.
We started walking downtown Omaha, and you were like, I should get a skateboard.
I said like we should go and check if the skateboard shop is open, the skate shop is open, and if it is, I'm definitely getting a board.
You're like,
I was hoping like the store was closed, and it was, and I got.
We should put
a
little bit of the video.
Yeah, here's the board. I haven't named her. She needs a name.
You should name her right now.
Ellie.
Ellie. Why?
Ellie. 'Cause Ellie.
That was how I was gonna name my daughter. You just took that out. I was like,
Ellie.
You know your Uncle Brayan?
No, you know what?
Board?
If Andrew ever sees this, my board is called Amaris.
Amaris? He will definitely.
Alright.
Because he's supportive.
Everybody, my board is called Amaris.
Yeah, no context, no reason whatsoever.
No context. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we showed up to the skate shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Silos.
The guy was so nice.
He was so nice.
Yeah. Shout out to the guy.
No, honestly, because he like helped you like because you know more about longboards.
Yeah, I used to work in a skate shop, in a longboard shop, so I had a lot of experience, but I know anything. I don't know nothing about it.
That's outside of your field of
skateboards. Yeah. And so I was like, hey, like I just want a board. I'm flying off to Colombia in a few hours.
Yeah, because you're traveling tomorrow.
I'm traveling
because this is your
5
last
hours.
night in Omaha. So we're like finishing this up.
I'm gone from the States.
Like
in
we're
5
gonna
hours.
finish this, and then we're probably gonna go.
Probably go to the airport. Yeah. And so the guy was like, yeah, sure, awesome, blah, 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 blah. He starts like talking to me about it.
Yeah, whatever.
And then like by the time we finished choosing everything, he's like, hey, so do you know how to like set up your own board? I was like, yeah, because like I used to work at that. He was like, well, you're going to have to because like I don't set up boards after like a specific time. Yeah. And then he was like,
because it was the store was already
closed. And he was like, you know what, screw it, like I'll just like hook you up.
He did. He actually did it pretty fast too.
Nice. Like, he did a really good job.
And it's like a nice store because they've been there for 10 years. I had no idea, and they would like help the community because they raise funds for like they build like the skate park.
Skate park, yeah.
Yeah, so it was really nice. So Silos, if you're in downtown Omaha or Nebraska or
make
the
sure
Midwest
to
or the United
give
States
them a visit.
Planet Earth,
let them know.
Support your planetary.
Support your planetary.
Everything just comes back.
They sell skateboards, but they're artists.
Now we're gonna put a link to
like their social media and stuff.
It's pretty good.
There's clothes, there's shoes, there's like glasses, hats, stickers, caps. There's a lot of cool stuff.
If you want to get like started. With like,
it's a really good place to go. Plus, they're really nice. I feel like a lot of people, in my experience as a
like in the skating community?
in the skating community, a lot of people don't start or don't remain because people that do skate are very like not mean, but they're like boastful. They're like we're cool. So a lot of people feel intimidated, and I did not with like this guy.
Yeah,
I buy boards.
He was also like, I feel like he's like his 30s, so he's like a wise man. Yeah, he's like Tony Hawk.
He's an old soul.
Yeah, he's been around the block.
He's an old soul.
He's been
but he looks very young.
Yeah, he looks young. But this man has had experience, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was we went to Silas. We also we went to like the record stores. We went to Homer's.
We went to record stores. You know? 2 of them. We went to this candy spot.
Yeah, you got some stuff.
I got my girlfriend some like candy
store here.
Big is an understatement. It's huge. It's a labyrinth.
It really is.
They have so many candy to the point where I was like, dude, how can you make sure people do not take your candy? Like, and just
I feel like. I mean, you can.
There's even that's what I did. There's even like this pinball.
Yeah, I lost 75 cents, and it's part of my fault because the first one I was like, okay, I was trying to do this like Pac-Man.
I just told him,
First one I was like, and he's like,
I was just like, I think it took your money,
and it was like, it's probably 50 cents. Okay, valid.
Second point, and I'm like, wasting your money.
It doesn't work, and I just put the third
75. There we go.
Like, Fool me once.
Fool me once. Shame on me. But fool me twice. That's
freaking Gallagher machine took my.
I'm gonna put the meme here so they know what we're talking about.
Put the link down. We're trying to keep this PG-13.
13. 13. Aquí tiene pa que me las. Anyway,
so yeah, we had a little downtown
adventure.
It was a couple people ask us if we were street photographers.
Oh yeah, because of the tripod.
Because we were like carrying like
on
our
the
filming
bus,
equipment because we were hoping to go to
walking.
Yeah. We almost missed our bus stop because we were watching.
True, we had to run.
Twitter.
Yeah, we were watching. And we had to run.
Yeah, we took the scenic route home.
We went to get burgers and this hobo just went inside. Bro.
Props it.
Homeless people, we love him. If you don't have a house, just buy one.
Just buy one. Do you know what you should have done, Brian? Instead of being in pre-kinder, buy a house, bro.
I should have just bought like Amazon stock and stuff. Yeah. I think we talked about this. Was it yesterday or in the first episode?
I think it was the first episode.
Let us know.
Everything is just like bleeding in together because we've spent a lot of time together. We've been, we
do spend a lot of time together.
I mean, it's because like you're here for vacation.
It's my first time, in Nebraska. It was pretty fun.
We've been just like chilling. We played a lot of video games.
A lot of video games. We kind of like completely finished the campaign of Injustice 2 yesterday.
We stayed up till it was like
5 in the morning. Actually,
it was 5.
Yeah, it was 5 because my phone wasn't 6 and my phone is on Colombia time.
So it was like an hour.
It was 5. We stayed up till 5 in the morning playing. We finished it.
We did the Batman.
Good stuff.
It was actually like some of the last missions was like hard, like freaking Brainiac.
We're on
Brainiac.
Yeah, Brainiac smashed us. Yeah, and not in the way I wished. Yeah, Brainiac, man.
Yeah, but it's a fun game. We was playing a lot of Rocket League.
And we got pretty good.
With our friend Jose.
Because we started bad. Oh yeah, shout out to Jose. We've been playing with him, and we started like just like playing for the sake of playing. But then we got modo serio, like serious mode.
Like when you like lean down and
then you're like now into the thing, and it's personal. And we started like choosing our positions.
Yeah, like you were a goalie, and
I decided to be the goalkeeper.
It was fun.
Pretty fun stuff.
To them tunes, to the music.
We tried to pass Cuphead, which we couldn't. We could barely made it past the first level.
And it's not like you've completed the game.
Yeah, I finished the game in the past. Like with my roomie, we completed the entire thing, and with my best friend Nicholas, we also completed.
I thought it was your best friend.
Yeah, keep dreaming, buddy. We also completed the game. We could not, for the sake of our lives, pass like the second level. We couldn't.
No, it wasn't even like a boss. It was just like
a run and gun. It was a run and gun, and we could not make it
because you're greedy. Because like this.
Because I wanted the coin, buddy. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, and you play Cuphead, you know you need the coins. You need the dough. You need the monies. And I needed the money.
And it was like, I was like, I don't really play it a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, I'm like dragging you down because when I died, you could still not pass it. Mm-hmm. And we did play it on the Switch, but in my opinion, it doesn't affect.
Yeah, it has nothing to do because like we're still streaming straight into the TV. However, we've been playing Apex as well. We've been playing on PS. We've been playing on Xbox because I got an Xbox, and we played on the Switch, and it sucks.
Dude, if you freaking
Switch,
like
if you play
Apex Legends
on a Switch.
On the Switch,
bro,
you're
just good.
Like on another level. You're like,
like no one can tell you otherwise. You're a gamer.
You can like we said on the last episode we would give you $2 similar dollars, US dollars.
We like he'll give you one, I'll give you one.
Give you
if you can win a match
of Apex Legends
on Switch, you have to prove with like a lot of kills and stuff. Kind of like just
like
survive
out the entire thing.
I will give you $1, and Manuel will give you $1.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money
for you.
That's $2.
Like your food.
Bro, that's my life. That's my school tuition.
That's actually like pasaje Transmilenio.
$2.
Yeah, it's like
8,000 something, almost 9.
No, like you giving you $1, like you giving $1 is like
that's a day's worth of transportation money
for
in Colombia.
Him,
yeah.
For me, it's like
get on it. Get on it. Get a Switch. Start playing. Get those $2. Gotta get him. Anyway, and we've been also playing. What else have we been playing?
With each other's emotions, because apparently.
Mario Kart.
Yeah,
as we have because of the podcast. Yeah, like Mario Kart.
I think we said one day we would do like a Mario Kart.
And we played online.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the Japanese,
bro. Japanese people are so.
I've actually like 2 times in my life that I beat it. I mean, because factory settings. They know.
You know who's not good?
What?
British people. Dude. British people on Mario Kart. Y'all gotta get better. Yeah, because a lot of like our competitors were like British.
Or maybe we're just really good.
I don't think so.
I
feel like we're pretty average.
No, I feel like I am pretty good. I play Mario Kart a lot. I play Mario Kart way more because
you have a Switch. I hadn't played it since.
Sounds like probably
since Salem.
Since we were
since Jarek. Yeah.
Since the beginning
of this.
The inspiration for all of this
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
No, I think that's pretty much what we've been up to. We were just watching Monsters University.
Monsters University.
It's actually
so good.
We should go into we should go into dive into that because the movie I saw this like somewhere. It was like an analysis of the movie, and like for those that have not seen the smash hit known as Monsters University,
which you should,
by the way. Mike Wazowski, before he was like Sully's like tech support, he wanted to be a scarer. And he wanted like more than anything.
Yeah.
And he couldn't. He just can't because he's just
not built for it.
And it's like a whole thing of like you wanting to like pursue your dreams,
but you're not made for it.
What if you're not built for it? It just doesn't happen. Like what if you want to be a really great singer and just don't have a good voice,
bro? Smiley Friends. He was born like that.
What?
He was born like that. He
can't even help it. It's like nature. And so they were talking about that, like what it's like, and they were also like talking about it as like being disabled and like trying to like pursue a career because it's like Mike Wazowski can consider a person that's like disabled,
And remember what the dean told Wazowski was like, what you lack, you cannot learn.
Yeah, and it's like what if you're disabled and like you can't like do certain things that you want to do?
Yeah,
because of like,
and like if you notice about it, like if you think about it, like Wazowski was the hardest working member of Uzma Kappa and of the entire faculty
thing,
but he just couldn't.
And then Sully says a line, and like in the beginning, it's like, unlike you, I work hard to be here. It's like because you don't belong here.
Yeah,
which is rude, which is like tough, but
it's rude. It's
true,
and it's true. Yeah,
and like I feel like at some level, like
that's how it felt like for me in college.
In some cases, it can be true. Yeah, because it's like, but it's tough. And then I saw a similar one.
It's deeper.
With Ratatouille. With Ratatouille that. Like
Colette talking about
it's a different. It was a different analysis by the same person. I'm blanking out on the name, but it was that how Remy, he's a rat. For those that have not seen Ratatouille, spoiler alert, he's the rat,
bro.
Yeah, but he steals. He steals from materials.
He's a rat.
He's a rat because he's trying to pursue his dream of being a chef.
But he doesn't want to. Yeah,
and then that's the thing of like people that do not have the means to get an education and pursue their dreams, like what for them to like turn to like crime, people that try to make a living. No, like people that don't have enough money that they still I don't know, like a pregnant woman, just cannot afford diapers and just steals them and sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and like a whole analysis like Pixar movies. This is why Pixar movies
so deep.
There's so many. Like we were talking about Inside Out as well.
Yeah,
with the whole thing with sadness.
What's your favorite Pixar movie?
My favorite Pixar movie?
Yeah.
I think it might be... that's tough. Soul.
It's so good.
What I want
it's very
it's
good.
So... It's like... It's so deep,
and
too.
That's it made me cry. It made me cry the first time I saw it. Yeah, the part... there's this part when... what's the name of the main character?
Wow, I was like sniffling.
Yeah, whatever. The guy, he's talking to his mom. And I don't remember if it's him or if it's... like the soul. That's the girl.
The soul.
Yeah,
my favorite part of Soul. She said it's soul time, and they started sewing all over the place.
But yeah, like he's talking to his mom, and he says like my biggest fear is that at the end of my life, or like at the end, my life will amount to nothing. I started sobbing. Because back then I was like
for an artist,
reconsidering art. I had dropped out of college. I was like,
for the second time.
It's a good movie.
It's
my favorite
and
though.
It's so like beautifully like made and like the score by by Nine Inch Nails, like the guys from Nine Inch Nails is so good. And John Batiste, I don't know John Batiste? He played it in Stephen Colbert's bands, this like talk show.
Okay.
He actually played he made a rendition of One Another with Mac DeMarco. And it's like very fun. It's like very jazzy. We could like probably play like a little
put it
clip,
here.
And it's really like he's a really great musician. He made this jazz compositions for Soul.
Okay.
So I have the vinyl for it. It's really good. He's really great. I think he won the Oscar for it. Like best like
I did not know he
soundtrack.
made the.
Yeah, I think
I thought it was Michael Giacchino because Michael Giacchino makes everything
always
for
known, but
Pixar.
John Batiste, he made the jazz. He
That's
does nice. He
nice.
has won a Grammy. Right now, he also made a movie that just released called American Symphony. I wanna watch it. I think the score for that movie, or I think the movie itself, is like nominated for the Oscars as well.
Yeah.
And it was listed on Barack Obama's list of favorite movies.
Okay.
Yeah, because he really
If
does
you-
that one
yeah.
every year. If you care about Barack Obama and politics, now you gotta watch it. He's
I
actually
love
really
Barack
good. You
Obama.
know, he makes he was the guy that I showed you at the record store today. He has a couple records. He makes
Elliott
he
Smith?
like what?
Elliott Smith.
No, John Batiste. He's a African American man. You know, he's pretty
Okay,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Recommend him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else you want to say before you get this conversation started?
Wally's Pixar's best.
Is that your favorite?
That's
movie
my favorite.
or the best? I think
Both my favorite, and
I
it's the
think
best.
the
I think
best
that a
movie-
movie that can tell you so much about what's happening without
Without
a
even
single line and like of speaking in 30 minutes, like that shows the skill of like the screenwriters and the animators to like make it's a robot that doesn't know how to speak and yet he's so expressive. They used a freaking cockroach
and you
as like the pet, and you already know the character of the pet. And a lot of, like I've seen it with people that say like, like that's me, like I'm the cockroach.
If
It's
you
like,
can feel relatable to
a
if you can
cockroach
relate to a
that doesn't
cockroach,
speak, like that means these guys were doing a really good job.
which is why people can relate to you.
And
you know?
music is also like so good because it's like very kind of like smooth and kind of like how do you say this, like not drowsy but like it really hypnotizes you, but it's also very tense and like uneasy. I like it. I like it.
I have to say Wally.
Yeah, there's a lot of piano there,
for
a
long
lot of
time,
keys.
I used to think that Wally and E.T. were like the same movie because they kind of look the same.
Yeah, they do.
I was like, wow, like E.T. put on a battle. He started playing
E.T. and Pacific Rim. And it's E.T. like trying to
Fighting the guy.
call.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. Okay, well,
Oh, E.T. All right, let's get into this podcast.
let's get into this. All right.
Yeah. So, first of all, let's talk about what's going on setting wise.
Yeah.
We have this like lights. There's I don't know, like the
The camera,
tripods,
we
the
have
camera,
mics
we're in
here
the
on
room and
our hand,
everything.
we're the computers.
Because of the situation.
Because,
of the
like we
conditions.
mentioned,
Like
yeah.
we mentioned about Zozo and all the
challenge
stuff.
presented itself, and then we
Mhm.
had to fix it because we needed to make this episode.
True.
Yeah.
And we had to do it ourselves.
Yeah,
DIY.
because we couldn't. It was either this, like making ourselves a studio, or
Not-
doing it on the street, or nothing.
Or not doing it, which I think that it's a very constant dilemma in art, and it's either you improvise and kind of like just do what you can with what you have,
With what you have,
or
and
you
not
don't do
letting,
anything.
Like, this is like, oh well, I guess I don't. Have,
Yeah,
like,
it's just like letting the situations kind of like stop you. And let's talk about that a little bit, which I feel like that defines the character, and that's how do I say this? That's like the main trait, and
Of,
that's
like, being an
the
independent
core
artist?
of being an independent,
indie
kind of like an
artist.
indie artist.
because the word indie
comes
has
from
changed,
indie.
like,
Yeah,
a lot.
with years.
Because like before, it was like being an indie artist is like, oh, like you're not associated with like
A
major, like a
label.
major label,
Yeah.
and like you were doing things on your own. Which in a way is still kind of true, but like
Mm-hmm.
some big like indie artists are like think of like HG Elephant. They have arts. They're with RCA,
Labels, yeah.
which is like the same label that backed up Elvis Presley. You know,
And the thing here is, back then, this decision, like making this decision of I'm gonna be independent, was not as easy as it is today. Nowadays, music wise, if you have an iPhone and GarageBand,
You can do it.
You can make a banger. You can make a very good song. You can
example
get
being
fame.
Fuzzy Brain, the
Fuzz
album by
Brain
Dayglow.
by Dayglow, yeah, like Sloan talks and he shows how he made the album, and almost all the plugins he uses are stock meaning that he didn't download them from anywhere else. They just came with the app or the DAW, the station
Really?
he's recording with. Yeah,
Everything was talk.
not everything, but like a big amount of stuff.
It's kind of cool. He has like those videos on his YouTube
I
channel. like,
love that. And the video from Can I Call You Tonight, like you can tell
That is-
like it's
but
so
it
made at
fits.
home, and
But
I
it fit-
love it.
And I was actually
love it.
telling you.
It's
I was actually
great.
telling you when I was setting this up.
Yeah.
So it's actually gonna fit. It's actually gonna work. You know?
And I think that thing, like those kind of videos, and the fact that now people can access production means so easily break and completely obliterate and destroy the myth of like, oh yeah, you gotta go to a studio, you gotta
Yeah.
pay to producers, you gotta like market and sell your music or your art. And it's like, no, it makes it so much more inclusive and accessible for people, and it opens the dream, and it not only makes it like independent as like I have to, but it makes it so that people that want to be independent can do it because they want to, and not because that's what like that's the life you got.
Yeah.
Because and back then you had to like either you have the money or you had the money to pay for labels and producers and studios and go record in a cassette or in a CD or a vinyl or whatever. But now it's like, yeah, you can just like make it in your room, post it on Spotify, and not pay anything. Like you can use like, for example, DistroKid, which is a distributor app.
That's what you
or
use
you
for
can
your
use
song,
yeah,
right?
that's what I use for like my free song.
Right,
Although
right.
the next thing that I'm not using DistroKid anymore. I'm gonna use 1 RPM, and that's still free. And like I feel like that's a core thing to keep in mind when talking about indie, right? At least in the music thing, but I don't know what happens on the screenwriting.
Oh,
thing.
like I feel like it's pretty much the same. Like independent is like, yeah, you're doing everything yourself. You don't have like a studio backing you up. You might have like some people do a lot of fundraisers,
yeah.
like Kickstarters, you know, GoFundMe's
for
the
short
movie,
films and
because
stuff,
you know
yeah.
it's pretty expensive.
Pretty expensive.
But even if you don't like want to spend any money with your iPhone camera, you can do it. iPhone cameras are getting really good like these days. You
they're
know,
so good.
and like I've seen like some videos online of people like doing that. And you know, I feel like with indie and like the movies is pretty much the same way. Like you do everything yourself. You get yourself in a group of friends.
Yeah.
You make a movie. And writing is free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so indie movies. And when we're talking about like big indie movies or like projects, things that I don't know, like go to festivals. Usually get like financiers. You know, they finance your movie, and then if
They
you need
remake it. Do they remake it after they get like a finance?
no, for example, a good example would be like Whiplash.
Mhm.
It's pretty well known. Like
Movie
that,
by Damien Chazelle.
yeah,
Great
and
movie.
that it was actually a short film, and he made the short film to get funding for the movie.
film.
So he submitted the short film. I'm not sure to which festival, but because it was well
Won.
received. Yeah, and you know, and it was like okay, people then backed it up, and then it was released as the Whiplash movie, and it was pretty amazing.
Okay.
And so with movies, with action movies, they get financing from somewhere,
Mhm.
and then distribution, which is like the hardest thing. Like, okay, how is this movie gonna get distributed? That's why they go show them at festivals.
Yeah.
Because studios, they go to the festivals and they see that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good movie. Like,
Hey,
and then,
that's pretty good.
hey, that's pretty good.
That's
And
pretty
then- and Netflix buys them, or Apple TV buys them, or
All right.
Paramount, or whatever. They buy the rights, and then they
They
distribute.
produce a thing.
But at their core, it was an independent movie because
Okay.
they didn't make it.
Mhm.
Paramount didn't make it. Netflix didn't make
Somebody else did. on
Somebody
their,
else
like,
did. And I
with their own means.
it. Yeah, and a curious example is like there was this movie called The Bike Riders, starring Tom Hardy and Austin Butler from Elvis.
Oh yeah, from Elvis. Yeah.
And it was a movie that was did well at the festivals, and it was gonna be released by Disney at the end of this year,
Mhm.
and then
They didn't?
Yeah, they got rid of it.
Okay.
And so they're currently looking for
sucks.
another distributor.
Okay.
But it was it was like independent movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
But yeah, that's like a little bit of the movie indie scene.
Yeah.
you know?
And so the thing now that we gotta keep in mind is that we were talking about how indie meant a specific thing back then, like back
Yeah.
in the time where you could not just make things on your own, because like you just couldn't, right? Or at least it wasn't as easy as it is now, because now it's extremely easy. Like I've made a song in a plane with like my Mac.
yeah, you remember telling me about that?
Which eventually you'll listen to it because I'm using it for my album. But nowadays, indie can like mean different things. So let's talk about that. Let's try to talk a little bit about why we do what we do and why indie. Like what's up with it? Is it an aesthetic? Is it a genre? Is it a style? What is it? So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can. Let me just talk over you.
Let's get ready.
Let's get ready. Yeah, like why do I do it?
Why do you do it?
Well, I guess especially like indie is that I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want.
True. You don't
And,
have to answer to no one.
A lot of things that I've heard about it's like the movie industry. That's just like really hard to like have creative control over your project. And if it's something that's like very near to you, you don't want
Preach
to.
that.
You don't want to
Amen.
like somebody like do it. Oh, it should be more mainstream. It should be more this. It should
Yeah,
be
like imposing
more
what you
appealing.
should
Yeah,
be and who
what
you
it
should be.
And it's like I don't want to do that. So that's a benefit to it.
Mhm.
You have control. You can, like get your friends to work with you, and it's
And you
like-
work at your own pace.
and there's and exactly like for example, I like that I can take as long as I want on a project for it to be the best it can be.
Mhm.
I don't have anybody like putting the deadline. I mean, of course, like deadlines are good because it's like give yourself like a time frame of when you should
Yeah.
have something ready, but you don't have to like I'm gonna lose my job.
Yeah,
if
you
I
don't have
do
to
it.
like worry. Yeah, I get it.
So that's something nice about it, and also I guess the scene like the audience, that indie movies type of reach, because it's more about it's more people that really appreciate like the artistic aspect of movies
and are not looking only to be entertained, but also to
and
consume.
if you watch movies to like be entertained, that's totally fine. You know,
Yeah,
you can do that because I do the same. But if I want to watch something that's gonna like
change,
scratch my brain, it's gonna like
yeah,
and
like,
you know, I like that. So that's why I like it, and it's also cheap.
True, it's so much cheaper, and its impact, like when you go and watch them, the impact is bigger. Because when you go and like buy tickets for independent movies and stuff like that, it affects and it supports a growing, ever-changing industry, instead of just supporting big Hollywood.
So there's big company, because once again, support your planetary artists. Yeah. What's your
my take on that?
Yeah, what's your take on that?
Well, here's the thing. In music, and the reason why I do indie, it's because honestly, I would love to romanticize it by saying, because I can do it my way. I did it my way. Or I can like follow my own terms and my own timelines.
Your own drum.
But it's more of like fear. My reason to do like work as an indie artist, it's because I don't have to answer to no one. And so it's not about the freedom. It's about like the
fear of disappointment.
Yeah, I don't have to fear disappointment because no one expects anything, and I didn't sign any contract.
Everything from you,
but I don't care. Anyway, however, it also gives you the freedom of like, you want to make for example, which is what's gonna happen with my album, and it's like you want to make a song that sounds like Dayglow, cool, but then you want to make a song that sounds like Iron Maiden, okay, and then you want to make a song that sounds like I don't know, the David Brubeck jazz thingy, and like when you stop being consistent, big labels and like kind of like marketing people don't like it because they cannot brand you, they cannot market you, they cannot sell you. And that's what I like about being an indie artist, that I can define who I am, and I do get the chance to say, you know what, the next thing I make, that's my own.
That's like the plot of Divergent. You are like
that is the plot of Divergent. I am Tris.
You don't want
I am Tris prior.
You're everything.
Exactly, and nothing at the same time. So there's that, and then there's also the fact that the process is much more organic because I don't have to follow time frames of like a studio's telling me or labels like, hey, we need 6 songs for March or something like that. But instead, I just get to like
you get to
give it the time that it needs to and nurture an album as much as I need. If I want to make a song with a manual, but then I want to make a song with things, I can just make 2 songs instead of like having to ask for somebody's permission. So that is why.
Yeah. What would you say is your creative process then? Like on that topic, like, when it comes to art.
All right.
It gives like
it changes a lot.
Description of that. Yeah.
There's 2 phases. There's phase A and phase B. Phase A is actually like just 70% of the process, and it has nothing to do with making music, but it's more about writing down what the music is going to be about. It's journaling, writing down like my feelings, if something happened, and listening to music, listening to a lot of music.
Like consuming the art that you want to make is pretty pretty
now
essential.
You gotta be careful because it can be tricky, because if you listen too much of the same thing, which happens to me sometimes, then you just make that. Like when you make music, it's like, oh, this sounds so much like this. Well, because that's the only thing you consume.
And if that's the only thing that you want to make, I guess
that's fine. Yeah. But if you consume like a lot, then your music is very, very rich. It's very rich. So that's part A, just listening to a lot of music and taking down ideas. Like if I listen to a song and I'm like, oh, the drums in this song, write it down. Like this song by this artist, good drums. Keep them in mind. So I make playlists for like specific genres.
Yeah, you have a lot of playlists.
I do have a lot of playlists. And part B is just taking out time to read my notes, read my journals, sit with my guitar or a piano, and try to not compose like a cool line, a cool melodic voice, or a cool bass riff or whatever, but instead I try to approach a more cinematographic kind of like approach, even though that sounds repetitive. I try to take a more cinematographic approach and think of like, do you remember this scene from Soul where the guy puts like objects on the piano and he plays what he like the memories feel like?
What everything relates to.
I just try to like grab my journal and like read what I wrote in the moment, and it's like, okay, what chord, just like define this, and then I started like trying to like find chords and then progressions, and then I just read kind of like what I wrote, but I sing it. So I don't make it rhyme. I just like read the journal while singing. That's what I try to do to come up with songs.
Yeah, that's wow.
That is my process.
That is his.
That is my secret. That is my
Any special underwear that you wear? Like
Calvin Klein. I only use Calvin Klein.
That's
Back
a
to the
lie.
Future much. That's not a lie. All of my underwear is Calvin
I was hoping
Klein.
you'd ask like, how do you know?
Bro,
How do you know?
oh, I know how you know.
Well, that's not in public. I will be recording it anyways. For me,
For you.
My creative process is like usually, it's like if I have an idea spontaneously,
Yeah.
I write it down, and then if I want to work on it, I just listen to songs, and I just listen to songs funnily enough.
Yeah.
To like okay, what's the vibe that I want to go for?
Okay.
I listen to songs, and based on those songs, I come up with scenes.
Do you ever come up like picture how scenes are gonna be like before you even write them down? Like entire segments, like oh, I see this guy walking, talking to this person. This is happening before you even write it down.
Yeah. Oh, like I feel like it definitely storyboard stories in my head a bunch, and then I write them down.
That's so cool.
And I come up with like dialogues. Like
so you have them in your head, and then you put them into paper.
Yeah, I like to like.
I feel like that works the other way because in music you have it in paper, and kind of like then you try to use everything to create everything from the bottom up, and I feel like
yeah,
that's so
cool.
cool.
Like I listen to songs like.
All
get
right.
It, it's repetitive. Yeah. Also, like a good piece of advice is like at least for dialogue, just listen to how people talk.
True.
So like I just listen to conversations, and like I like basing things on. No, like it's weird, but like
on the bus, you just like start recording people's
like a good screenwriting.
Yeah.
A tip is like just listen to people and just like write the way they talk, because like you don't want your characters to sound like the same person
and synthetic as well.
Yeah, and people have like personalities, you know. When I like writing how people talk realistically.
That's
people
cool.
interrupt each other. People like talk over each other.
And your characters do sound pretty organic.
I like to, you know, and because most of my conversations I base them off my real life, or how I would react to things, or how my friends would react to things. So I usually do that.
Okay.
And that's when I have an idea, you know. I that's part of my creative process. I have I make like a story Bible.
Okay.
And so in that Bible I have like everything I write like down. Okay, plot, logline, possible title ideas.
Yeah.
So, I go deeply into the themes. Okay, what is it that I'm trying to talk about in this story? Because screenwriting is very much just talking about a topic, but you know you wrap it in a story.
Oh.
So you want to like,
all right, I
rant
understand
about
what you
something,
mean.
but instead of like standing up in a soapbox, you make it look pretty. So what is the theme? What is the topic that I'm trying to talk about? What am I trying to discuss? Go deep into the themes. I write down the characters, descriptions, like really go like deep. Okay, like what does this person think about that? Like what is the kind
of like try to design a mini universe.
Like really build up a universe.
Okay.
Like from hours build up characters, and like
all right.
like are they like street smart or like book smart? Or are they, what type of music do they listen to? How do they dress? How do they react to hard challenges? What are some important
I have a question then.
Life?
If you have to go so deep into process and like coming up with these universes and like defining your characters so good and giving them such a straight up personality, how do you manage to make your characters not sound similar to previous characters? Like how do you not repeat yourself? How do you make something original?
Like I said before, like you just listen to people, and in a way, and sometimes people do talk
repetitive.
Yeah, people do tell the same. Like people say yeah a lot. Like for example, I say like.
I say
so
like a lot.
Freaking much.
A lot.
I'm like, wow, I apologize for coming out of the way.
Or
Terrible voice. Or yeah. But they'll say yeah a lot, you know? or like not, and I'm like yeah. Or like when you're trying to get out of a conversation and you're like yeah. And you like do that smile. And like,
it's just the average sound to just continue. Yeah.
But I guess like if you never do that, like
I'll put a yeah counter here.
Like a coworker's like telling you something, just
you're
like,
like,
but you don't really want to talk.
That Minecraft mode,
It sounds so dumb.
But
I guess
so you listen to people talk.
Listen to people talk. I'm not making it repetitive.
Okay.
And, like, you know, people. Yeah, like people can be quirky sometimes,
True.
and I guess I do like to base off my characters from people that I know. You know, people are special and different. You know, all the horrible, disgusting characters in my stories based off Brayan.
That you're still admitting that I'm on all of your stories.
Well,
I am your muse.
You're
I
like,
am your muse.
a win is a win.
A win is a win. A win is a win. You gotta win.
Yeah, but that's some of the stuff that I do. It really differs sometimes because sometimes if I get burned out from a project,
Yeah.
like if I force myself to like, I'm gonna write about this,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be great, and then I have like a week that I'm like really invested in it,
Yeah.
and then I just fall off and I never continue it again.
Happens so much. Like
Yeah.
having to be constant. It's such a challenge in this
and
stuff.
I was like, wow, like, and in a way I was forcing myself to, but then a difference is like, and I was telling you this is that, for example, I'm like doing nothing, but when I have like an idea out of nowhere, then that idea usually
You mentioned
I have like seems to last longer. I'm gonna work on this more because it came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't like trying to like work on
You were
something.
not
Because,
forcing
like,
it or
this
squeezing
came
it out. Yeah.
Yeah, like I had this idea and it feels more genuine. I guess like I feel like more pure
Yeah.
for me to pursue that idea. And funny enough, like let's say I try to make myself work on a project. And like I'm gonna write this, I'm gonna do this,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be consistent, and then I forget about it, you know.
And then you come
And then
back to
months
it.
later, I have like an idea or like a piece of dialogue. Like, this would be really good
Mhm.
for that project
Mhm.
months ago.
Mhm.
And then it's just like that process. Like now
Yeah.
it feels more authentic.
And letting
Now I
it
feel
breathe.
more-
Kind of like
Yeah.
just like.
I give it space, and now it comes out of nowhere. It literally comes out of nowhere.
That's
and I just wanna
so
work on it.
cool.
Yeah.
But it's tricky because in music it happens a lot that like before you even get into it, you mentioned this and you said like that it's pure. I have a question because I struggle a lot with this with music, and it's like sometimes I have ideas, I just come up with ideas like 3 a.m. or something like that. I produce them, I record them, record the guitars, bass, pianos, keys, whatever, I don't care. And then I listen to it like the next day. 3 things happen. The first one, it sucks. Like I listen to it, I'm like, this is terrible. Like this is so
Yeah.
bad. Second thing that it
Yeah.
happens, it's like, like that sounds so similar to like this other thing that I made a few days ago. And third, sometimes it happens that it already exists.
That's the worst.
Like I listen to it, I send it to my girlfriend or my friends, and they're like, yeah, but it's very cool, Brayan. But this sounds like.
But
I mean, it's all right.
They
Like,
just send me
literally
the song. Yeah, it's like,
like
crap.
crap, you just made it back in black.
but to
by
me,
AC/DC.
when I came up with it, it was pure.
it
was pure. Like it didn't come from
and
like
then you feel
listening
like
to
the
the song.
most like,
And then I'm
I
like
am
a
the
copycat,
genius
yeah.
person, and then you feel like trash.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny because I was telling you about this. That it's the same with like writing.
Yeah.
It's the same with
Like ideas. You mentioned an idea
Yeah, like people have.
about a murder thing.
Yeah, I will like we will go into this
Oh, yeah.
about how like something like what do you do different? What is plagiarism and coincidence? Like the differences between that, because sometimes like coincidence like does happen. Sometimes
Yeah.
two people have the same idea. It's not that I'm trying to steal anything or anything, but yeah, like that's a just topic, and that's what.
Yeah.
That's,
Let's talk about it.
let's talk about.
We'll come
that.
back to you
Yeah.
in a second.
I want everybody to know that you like let out like 20 burps.
Oh,
Like
I have a
before-
condition. I have a
Before
medical
you started,
condition.
you were like,
yeah, just burping out. Yeah.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
we
because
like to keep
that
it.
is paid content. You want to listen to me? I'll put my OnlyFans
We like
on
to keep
here.
it friendly here, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we have,
Anyway, we are back.
We are
Our
back.
topic is plagiarism.
or coincidence.
Or coincidence.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
I feel like we're getting better with this.
We really
These
are.
stages,
We
you
are
know.
so back. We're so back.
bro.
Anyway,
Come
so
on, be like,
go ahead.
yeah. So we're gonna start off this because you mentioned saying like, oh, I'm making this thing. I was like, oh wow, this is really great. And then finding out that the exact same thing already exists. Like you like coming up with fire, and you know,
Yeah.
it's already a thing.
And the thing is, like, like before we actually start, like plagiarism versus like, there's this one thing that I want to mention. It's like in music, it's not only about like trying eagerly, like so desperately to be
Purposely,
original. It's like it's hard because at least with like music, it's like let's be a little bit scientific. Music is born from a physical phenomena, which
Yeah.
is sound, and you cannot just create new sound.
New
Like
sounds, yeah.
sound is sound, and
You
frequency
cannot
is
create
like
a new musical note.
like musical notes are musical notes. Oh, but some nerd might say, like, what about microtonality? Yeah, I know about microtonality. Still, these notes are the notes. Like just because you take a 440 hertz A
Yeah,
like note like a la,
Yeah.
and you just like move a little bit like the thing to like make it, I don't know, 449. Doesn't change the fact that it's an A. It's an A. You're not gonna make something sound completely different.
Yeah.
What you're gonna make it sound is out of tune. It's gonna sound whack. So like we already have the notes. So coming up with something completely new, completely original, it's a hustle. Like it's so hard
tough, yeah.
because you cannot. Sometimes it feels like, I don't know, like Bohemian Rhapsody, in the sense of it feels too much. It feels like too complex, and that's fine. Like, but the thing is, sometimes I just want to make a regular ballad song with my guitar that doesn't sound like every Ed Sheeran song, and that's the problem. It's like it's so hard.
How do you be original when it feels like everything has already been made?
I think like I had a friend that told me once, like, oh Brian, but like music
Get
is
good.
like all music is, yeah, that too. But he was like, all music has been invented.
Yeah.
And I told him like, yeah, but I don't feel like our generation or humanity, for that matter, is supposed to make anything
come up
else,
with,
like come up new things, because
like,
everything
yeah.
has been invented.
Wow, they're like
Just
perfectly synced up with that one.
yeah.
Wow. Well,
Just
yeah.
like we have to renew, remake, and reinvent what has
Yeah, 'cause
already been made.
It's already
Yeah, like-
already out there. Yeah, it's already been.
All like the bass playing techniques have been invented, but Thundercat is like reinventing how like the place and the position of bass in music.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're called to do.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're
and
supposed
that,
to do.
that ties perfectly with what with like in like movies and screenwriting. Like every story has already been told.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like every basic premise has
has
already been told.
already been told.
It's just the way that how are you gonna tell it your way? What's the twist that you're gonna? How you, is it? It only changes in the way that
you gotta
it's told.
you gotta put some swaz on it,
You gotta
Gromit.
put some sass on it.
Yeah.
You know, because every story has already been made, and you
It
know,
is,
and
yeah.
you already wanna, and that ties in perfectly with like, my a little bit of an anecdote
Mhm.
that I was trying to make. I was trying to like write a story because I
Yeah.
wanted to shoot something.
Yeah.
I wanted to like, write a story, whatever, and I was like forcing myself to like, okay, I'm gonna have an idea, and it's gonna be good, it's gonna be great, and so I was thinking, maybe I can write a story about. I have two friends, it can be two friends, and,
Right, yeah.
it's just like a very drama
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I was like, well, what if these two friends have like a suicide pact? Like they're gonna kill each other. They're
Mhm.
kind of inspired by the B movie. That one part where where they're like, it's like it's gonna be like
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
suicide pact. I was like, it'd be
Mhm.
like a drama thing. It'd be like a very emotional thing.
Mm.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. And I was already thinking about
Did
it.
you write it down?
Like I wrote down the idea
Okay.
and everything, and I was like, read it, whatever. And then like probably like a couple of days for that very same week, I was like going through Hulu looking for something to watch, and then I see this movie called On the Count of Three, and I look interesting. I like the poster, and it was by this company that makes good movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I open it, and it's like two friends decide to end each other's lives and everything. And it's very drama. I was like, bro, I was like, this is the it's already been made. It hasn't. It's happened to me before.
So annoying.
And it was like, I was like,
yeah.
everything sucks. I'm like,
That
because
that's
it was like
the worst.
because I don't like because it looked good. It looked
Mhm.
good. So I was like, yeah, I was jealous. I was like, it's already been made. It's probably already great. And then I didn't watch the movie, and I still
Yeah.
have not watched the movie
Yeah.
to this day because I'm like scared there's gonna be like way better than anything it could have come up with.
Probably.
And probably with the person that made it, I don't know,
Yeah.
the creative team behind it.
Yeah.
But probably they have like an emotional reason to it. They
Yeah.
probably,
For sure.
and it's probably really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I personally just want to make a story,
Mm.
but
But
it probably
I
means a lot to them.
feel like what you just mentioned is very important. It's probably like there's probably something from them and like something like emotional to
It
them.
means something more to them.
And I
yeah.
think that is the key. That is like your excuse. That is what you can use to not make it be plagiarism. And it's what
And people-
personal emotional extra can you add to the thing.
Yeah.
Because for example, if you listen to this was mentioned in Tar,
Yeah.
but if you listen to like in a specific Beethoven like piece, and then like you listen to the last few bars, like the 20 last bars, and then you listen to Mozart's piece, like some other Mozart's words.
Yeah.
The first 20 bars are actually a straight up copy and paste section, but it's more of like a conversation and like how he wants to reinterpret and talk, kind of like respond to back on what like his music. So like this is a very specific of situation, of course, of like two musicians communicating through
Yeah.
art,
Instead
but
of
it's more of
email.
like instead of email, because back then
no, there
Yeah,
was a
there was,
thing.
yeah.
You just didn't know how to use it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know if you, remake on a specific movie, or you make a movie based on a story or whatever that has already been made. For example, if you were to make that thing you just mentioned about like the societal pact, there's still your personal viewpoint on
their
it.
version of the movie is probably different
From what
my,
you came
I
up
mean,
with.
I haven't seen it still, but it probably there's a different approach to it, you know. And it's also true that people have the same ideas.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big world, you know. You're not as unique as you are.
Yeah.
You know, and it's normal. I feel like it's pretty normal to have like a same.
Yeah,
Same
and in a sense, like there's this one thing that I don't want to like elaborate a lot on, but it's like, dude, like we're late. We're late to
We are
humanity.
late to the
we
party,
are late
yeah.
to like the party. Everything has been made up. Good ideas have been made. Like, it's too late to come up with like a
It's too
new
late to say
innovation,
sorry,
but
yeah.
it's too early at the same time. It's like just the right time to start like being part of the new wave of everything's been made, everything's been built.
How can I put my take on it?
How can I put my
Which is
take
why
on
like
it?
lo-fi is a pretty good thing. And
That
people
is,
sampling
dude, I
things.
love that about
And we're gonna
lo-fi.
talk a little bit more about like
Yeah.
samples like
Mhm.
later on
in a second, yeah.
But yeah, and also I feel like the more we accept the truth, like okay, everything has already been made.
Yeah.
The less we like get lost in the pursuit of like trying to be original and trying to be like.
And we can stop focusing about
Yeah.
how can I make something new and original, and we can start focusing more of our energy and
like being authentic.
and being authentic,
ourselves, you know,
and
like the
trying
message
to
of every
express something.
Animated kids movies, like being yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
and there's two things there. What do you want to express, and how does what you want to express want to be expressed? Like once you take this like sadness or catharsis or whatever, and you stop thinking it as an emotion that comes from you, and instead you start thinking of it as maybe like energy that wants to come out through you somehow, then like, and you don't have to focus anymore of like, I just need to be original and unique. If you take that out of the equation, you have a free way to just like, okay, I'm gonna make something that maybe is similar to, I don't know, this person's music, but it's the way what I'm feeling right now wants to be expressed.
Yeah.
And I think that's like super, super, super important.
yeah, no, that's pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
just be yourself.
Yeah, just be
your
yourself.
own you.
Yeah.
And that way, I feel like you, if you really want to be original, is like being the way you know.
Just be
being
who
yourself,
you
like,
are.
Like don't try to hard like be so different or like try to like copy somebody else. We can. Like people, it will feel fake, and people just want to listen to the original thing, you know.
And it's also just so cliche, like being original and being unique. It's the least original, and you think
You know,
you can
and
try
if
to be.
Everybody's
If everybody's super, no one is.
No
one will be.
Yeah, but then reeling back on the sampling thing and like some things sounding similar. You have a couple of examples.
Yeah, we have some examples
where this
to
has
talk
happened.
about this. So let's talk a little bit about artists. Copying artists, or is it homages?
Or is it just straight up stealing?
Like what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I want to start here with a band, one of my personal, if not my personal favorite, but one of my personal favorites, and it's a band from Australia called Vacations.
Vacations.
They have this one song. It's called "Moving Out." Great song, and
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
like it.
play a little bit of it in just a few seconds. And there's this other band from the same style and genre and niche of music called RICEWINE, and they'd have this song called "Summer Spent," and we're gonna play them both right now. And I just want you to pay very close attention to the beginning and tell us what you think. So here goes "Moving Out" by Vacations. So that's Vacations, and now let's listen to
RICEWINE.
RICEWINE. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
listen to RICEWINE. So here's RICEWINE. All right, very good. And so there's that. Come on, dude. Like you cannot tell me that it's not
It's very
the same thing.
Yeah, it definitely feels like different keys.
Yeah.
but it's still like
But
the same
the rhythm is the same.
same thing. Yeah,
The notes are actually the same. They're just in a different key. Now, however, the feeling and the color and kind of like the texture that you get, they're different.
you
like
like
they
sound
go
like
on.
Remy, like
like the cheese and the piece of strawberry. The symphony of the bread, of the baguette,
of the boogie.
of the baguette. Only a good baguette sounds like this. But it's like, okay, they take different directions. They sound extremely similar, but they take different directions. And I feel like that is the perfect example of what I was talking about. Like, it's their personal touch on a very similar thing. Now we're gonna listen to a song called Harvey, but one of our favorite artists. Hearst. They were a band from Liverpool.
Very like I would dare I say,
Very underrated.
pioneers.
Oh yeah, pioneers of the indie,
you know, of like the new
indie
like
pop,
new
band
current, like
room.
2010s indie.
For sure.
You
Yeah,
know.
like they were like unique.
It's
Unfortunately,
a whole
they passed away.
yeah. Wait, you at your grandparents' funeral?
Just
That's what I'm gonna do at your funeral.
yeah, probably.
But yeah, Harvey is a pretty popular song. It's a pretty
Yeah.
big song.
And it's unique. Like
And it's
what
got
they do,
it's got a very
its own
classic,
thing,
you know,
yeah.
catchy
Mhm.
tune. Let's listen to it.
All right, and now let's listen to Stress Relief.
Stress
right?
relief. A little bit of context.
Yeah, for
before
sure.
this, I was listening to like Spotify. I was listening to Spotify radio.
Some random day.
One day, just doing things. I was not looking at my phone,
Mhm.
and then this song comes on, and it's like this sounds very similar. This tune, I know this tune. I know this track.
Yeah, you've heard this
I've
before.
reached it
for
1,000
sure.
times. You know, and I was like, what is this?
And even more when it gets to the chorus, because
Yeah,
it's the
and
same.
It's the same. It's the same.
thing.
It's by this band. The song's called Stress Relief by Late Night Drive Home. And I looked at it. I played it on YouTube. So like, look at the comments, and people are saying,
Talking about
"This is
it,
Harvey.
yeah.
This is Harvey." And I was like, okay, I'm not crazy.
Mhm.
And nowhere did I see that the song was like crediting
or
Harvey. But
anything,
Let's,
yeah.
let's listen.
Let's listen to it.
Stress Relief.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, and
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, and they never like said, "Oh, this is how much. This is this. This is that."
And no, it's like everything is the same. The drums are extremely similar. The chords are the same chords on the same key, and the melody, which is like that's the signature. The melody is the same.
And they never, and then
They never
later,
talked about
they
it.
never like mentioned it, put it anywhere, and then later they did talk about like, oh no, yeah, it was like a monster. It was like, bro, like it
Bro,
never.
come
It feels
on.
like a and it's different
Like a
because Boy Pablo,
Boy
another big
Pablo,
artist,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
his album Wachito Rico.
Wachito Rico, great album.
He homages, like he makes a little, you know.
Because they had just passed away. I
Yeah,
think.
it was like
Or,
very recent. Like they passed away in 2020,
Mhm.
and he released his album in 2020. I think it was 2021,
21 or something like that. I don't know.
And he put in Vamos a la Playa, one of his
Mhm,
songs.
mhm.
It sounds it's like you can hear it, and then in his song Wachito Rico, you can hear like similar tune,
Mhm.
but it's different in the sense of like it's its own thing.
Yeah, and then so here we
Kinda
have
like builds
Wachito
up, you know.
Rico as the song, and like the previous song on the record.
It's like a prelude.
It's like a prelude, and it's called Vamos a la Playa. It's like 36 seconds, when you can tell, like here you can tell, oh, they're like literally kind of like homaging Harvey, because like it's the same melody, it's everything.
Let's play it.
So let's listen to both things. First, we're gonna listen to
Vamos a la Playa.
Vamos a la Playa, and right after that, we're gonna listen to
transitions
the
to it, yeah.
to Wachito Rico.
Last couple of days been kinda great. We've been slacking around. I'm more than we should.
All right, and that's that. Like you can tell, Vamos a la
Yeah.
Playa is the
like the little
like the
prelude,
little,
you know,
and you're like,
building up to
oh,
it,
it's
and
it's like a little like Harvey kind of like, hey
Yeah,
guys,
little
like
hint.
we love you guys.
Yeah, we do love you. We
And
do love
then
hers.
they have your own reinterpretation by Boy Pablo of what maybe Harvey could have
Yeah,
sounded
and
like.
he like builds up on it. It's
Yeah.
not like and that's I think that's where Stress Relief, if they
Failed.
were trying to like make homage,
They should have
I don't
followed
know.
that road.
Like it feels like more of a.
I don't think they were trying to, but hey,
Yeah,
that's
but
my
we
opinion. That's
don't
my
know.
personal
and
opinion.
it's different because like a different group. I don't remember the name right now, but they made a cover of what Once Was by hers as well, and it sounds completely different. Same song, but I mean, I guess like a homage. In my opinion, should be more like a sort of a cover, but like building up on it or like do it different. And I guess that's where Stress Relief failed. And it's funny because, I mean, yeah, good thing Boy Pablo like gave credit. Like he's like, it's no secret. And actually, I told you that this discovery, Mac DeMarco. He has the song Chamber of Reflection.
Chamber of Reflection, like probably like his most
song,
favorite.
it's
most famous
big,
song.
Everywhere like TikTok, you can listen to that. And his song, actually, it's a sample. Like part of it's a sample from
Another song.
from a different song. Yeah. So, and I found it sound like while listening to lo-fi, it was like I listened to the lo-fi, and it's like this sounds like Mac DeMarco. This sounds like Chamber of Reflection. I was like, oh, they're doing it wrong. They're doing the wrong lo-fi. But it's actually the lo-fi was a lo-fi version of the original Mac DeMarco
which is from
song.
like
1975
1975. By some like
Sekito,
okay,
Japanese composer, and the song is called "The Word to 1975." Let's play it. Let's play it.
So let's listen to it right now. All right, so that is what's the name again?
The Word to, and
The
then
Word To.
Chamber of Reflection by Mac
And now
DeMarco.
here's Chamber of Reflection. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's and it was so weird because it's
but
like
that's the thing. It's a sample. Like
it's a sample, and then like they recognize it, and then Mac Miller did the same thing with like Empire of the Sun and like the
right,
Spins, same thing, and then
and the problem here, it's like before we get into that one, it's like Mac DeMarco. It's much more famous than like
this guy,
the original like piece where they sampled from, and the same thing with
and
Mac Miller in Empire of the
giving
Sun.
credit to the guy, like like he said,
But he talks about it, and
yeah.
I think that's essential. Like
giving
credits,
to the original.
And the perfect
to the
example of
source.
this, like probably like the most maybe like amazing one is The Weeknd. The Weeknd has this song called "Out of Time" from his "Out of Time" album, actually, and actually it's Dawn FM.
Dawn FM.
Dawn FM. It's the name of the album, I think. And the song, like if you listen to it, the entire track is actually a sample from a song called Midnight Pretenders by Tomoko Aran,
Pretty old song
South
too, as well.
Korean singer who passed like a
Is she South
while
Korean?
ago. I think so, yeah.
I mean, because that sounds like a Japanese name.
Or might be, yeah. I don't even know.
It could. I think it could.
I think,
we should.
yeah.
We should look into that.
We'll look it up.
We'll put in.
Yeah, we'll put up the
We'll put
information.
on-
But either she's a nation past artist, and the first time I heard the song actually like was Tomoko Aran's. I heard it back in 2019 when I was living in Canada, and then this one day I'm just listening to The Weeknd, and like I listened not only to like maybe like the drums, maybe like the melody, like the song, like everything.
It's just changing the lyrics.
Yeah, he
and
just changed the lyrics.
And like the only difference is like after listening to a lot, you can tell at the beginning,
right at the beginning,
like the difference. But like
drums
when
or
I
something
first
like
listened
that.
to both of them, like this is the same
This
song.
is the same
'Cause
song.
It literally is. And I feel like a pretty like a normal reaction that we have is like when we see that happen, you get kind of angry. It's like,
yeah,
bro, like
it's
they
offending.
stole-
Like
yeah,
I
it's
get
like, bro, I
offended,
can't believe you like
and
did
I
that.
was very offended. And I was
Because,
like,
like, what if that was
dude,
me?
he's lazy. Like, he's a lazy artist. But I jumped straight into, like, the credits section on Spotify where you can see, like, get info.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this song was written and whatever by Tomoko Aran. And then I looked up information online. And The Weeknd said, like, yeah, I took her song and I reinterpreted it my way, but like I'm not trying to look or say that I made it up. Like he said,
Yeah.
wasn't me.
Yeah, they gave credit. Kendrick Lamar actually he did the same thing with one of his songs with a Beach House song. He put credit,
Okay.
But that's like the appropriate thing.
Yeah, I think it's the way to go.
Give credit.
Yeah, give credit to your local artists.
Respect your planetary.
Your planetary.
Yeah.
Respect them, give them credit, and support them.
Yeah, but that's like it can be a tricky thing. It can be kind of
It can be-
controversial because like I said, like people were mad at these late night drive home band because like it kind of seemed like they
And
were
there's the side of
stealing.
people that actually defend them because they
Yeah.
heard them first before they heard Harvey.
And it's like it's
It
complicated.
gets tricky.
And
It's just be careful. Be careful with what you do, and when you do it, when you
Make sure you, like,
make sure
credit
you
it.
credit it.
Because,
And if you
like-
didn't know, like just accept it. Just own it.
Own up to
Yeah.
it. Like because coincidences do happen.
They happen, and that's
you know?
okay.
And if you're gonna like even like repost, because I've seen it online, like people reposting like people's art without putting the credit to the
Yeah,
artist.
and that
Don't do that.
really bothers
Don't
me.
do that.
It even happens like because here's the thing. Emmanuel talks from like the movie making, filmmaking thing. I talk from like the music kind of like perspective.
Aspect.
My girlfriend, she was on a trip to Armenia, a city in Colombia, 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I think, and she sends me a message telling me, "Hey, I just saw in a store notebooks and journals with Felicia Chao's artwork on the cover." Felicia Chao is an artist who makes she makes illustrations and stuff like that on Instagram. She's super, super famous. You probably have seen her work and you just don't even know about it. And like I told her like, hey, just look up if you can find like names or credits
Yeah.
or something. There was nothing. There was just like made in Colombia, blah blah blah, blah, no credits, no nothing. Like people
Yeah.
might think this store came up with it, and that bothers me because they're making money from somebody else's art.
Yeah.
That's straight up stealing.
Yeah. It's art definitely has its controversies.
It does.
It has its challenges, and we're gonna talk about.
We're gonna talk about
actually like a pretty like it can be like a tough thing to talk about, but that's what we're here. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about the hard things, The hard,
that no one dares to talk
You don't
about.
even listen to Fox. You just
You
all
don't-
the news. No.
Screw Fox. Screw
Yeah,
BBC.
screw-
Just listen to your mom plays
Listen to
Mario
Mario
Kart.
Kart.
Mhm.
We're gonna be
Alright.
right back with this.
I'm leaving that in. All right.
Okay, I guess we are.
Art versus.
bro, the camera. We're having a bit of a learning curve with the camera.
Yeah, we're learning things.
know,
Now we gotta
we're not
save for a
perfect.
video camera.
We
should save
we
for
can
that.
save for a video camera.
Yeah.
Or we should just get like one of those like chord sketch artists that they draw like they draw like the whole chord.
Bro, it's gonna be like.
We can do that. They can do it frame by frame. Yeah. That's all. That was a car. In case you're gonna tell my room is right next to a window, and so like every time like
A car.
like a car like goes by, and it's kind of weird because it's pretty early in the day, but every time like a car play music, I'm like the whole everything shakes, and I'm like this is it. Like, I'm gonna die. I can't.
It's like have you seen those memes where it's like they see like something passing like a dog or something? It's like que bonitos ojos tienes. And it just like passes really fast.
Mama,
Mama huevo.
concha,
Yeah, kind of stuff.
concha.
Concha tu madre. Anyway,
My room's yeah. Which is why we work well behalf.
wait. You got a stutter?
Yeah, I actually do. I actually kind of do. I actually don't stutter as much as.
You say, as who? As me?
What are you literally gonna do? Is this an insecurity you have that you just reveal to me unintentionally?
What?
Like you, do you? It's like
What's going on here?
Well, yeah,
Anyway.
anyway, court artists. We're gonna be talking about court, and because why?
Corey?
Yeah, because
What do you mean, Corey?
because a lot of the people that we're talk about they've been in court.
Oh, court.
Yeah, court. What do you?
I was thinking like CORE. I was like court artist,
like French, like Mancour.
court. All right.
Anyways, court. Law and order.
Dum, dum, ching.
All right, let's
Anyway,
get on with
yeah.
this.
So, all right, get us started.
Yeah,
Get us
sexual
started.
assault. We're gonna talk about that.
Sexual assault.
So a big I feel like it's a very it's always been around, but a recent an important topic is okay, where do we separate the art from the artist?
Mhm.
Because commonly, usually, like we've seen cases of people in power, like people, with pop, like, high standard. People
yeah.
with the talent being involved in difficult situations such as sexual assault or just like crime overall.
Or
Like we have the Disney stars and everything, and we're gonna concentrate on musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Recently musicians.
Yeah.
And okay, when do we make a difference between the art and the artist? And should we? We make a difference?
I think that's an answer. I mean, a question that you gotta answer by your own. I personally think you ought to separate the
and
art and the artist.
I believe the same thing. But it has like clauses.
Yeah, and there's
well.
there's like situations and there's steps. Like there's like different phases within one of those like these cases when these cases come up. And so, for example, let's start talking about maybe the growlers thing.
We can talk about like some examples. We have people involved in sexual assault. For example, we had As It Goes. As It Goes. The Growlers.
Dreams, a Mexican indie band.
The Buttertones, one of my favorite bands.
As well. But the thing is, like, all of these bands handle the situation differently, and there's different approaches to like talk about this. And so let's start talking, for example, about Rex Orange County, for example.
Oh yeah, Rex Orange
County.
He was
singer,
accused,
indie, kind of like indie.
He's pretty
American.
big. He's
pretty
big.
good. He's the guy that made this. How can I ignore you? Trust me. This song that it's from a bunch of memes, TikTok.
Song.
Like you'll see once we play like a little bit of it. The guy was accused of sexual assault towards a minor, actually, on a concert or something like that, and everybody bashed him. Like they went crazy. They were like, this rapist, this, that. He sucks. We're never gonna listen to his music again. They sided with the big team. Like people try to make a call to reason, and they were like also bashed out, and by others telling like, you cannot ever support like someone that gets accused of this, blah 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 blah.
Like
these guys were
you listen to him
claiming that Rex Orange County was guilty,
that he had done it.
Like,
and I've never been
almost sworn it.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of his music like too much.
I like it. Yeah,
but I was like, that's kind of like
and
I don't feel like it's.
The guy stayed quiet. He didn't say anything. He didn't say yes or he didn't say no. He went straight to court. He brought it to court. And after a while and like process and deliberation and like sessions, I think, he was declared innocent.
And there was proof. Like there was video proof that he did not
do anything.
That he did not do it. And actually it's funny because like when we recorded this, it was when his sentence had come out, which is why we wanted to talk about this in the first place.
We talked about
and then and he was like, I was like it's crazy how we were so quick to judge. Like, that's the bad thing about people. Cancel culture, Like,
it's
so
like
easily eager.
It's unforgiving. It's like radical. Cancel culture does not give second chances.
Yeah.
And the thing with this is like all those people that were talking, saying Rex Orange County is guilty and all this stuff. As soon as the verdict came out, they were not saying a single word, not a sorry, nothing. Like no one said anything. All of a sudden, everybody loves Orange County. They never stopped believing in him. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the guy did his part, which was taking it to court and proving his innocence.
And I firmly believe in, innocent until proven guilty. And that's
innocent until proven guilty.
That's what happened.
Guilty.
And, so that was handled, in a way.
Properly.
And then we had the example with the Marias and the neighborhood. It's wild because like the neighborhood's like a pretty big band as well.
Huge band.
A pretty big rock band. And the Marias, whole thing is like pretty big as well.
They're pretty big as well.
And I remember when I was on Instagram and I saw a story with the Marias.
Yeah.
And she was like saying that the drummer from the neighborhood had like groped her like at a bar or something.
Yeah.
And then immediate response from the neighborhood was like, "We're gonna drop it to the drummer."
And
like cut to it. And it was like it was the
owned up
appropriate.
to it.
They did it. It was like, and that was good. It's also like weird to think because like they're like two pretty big groups,
extremely big.
It's groups. With a big following, and it still happens. And it still happens.
And it still happens. Like no one is exempt from either being maybe like sexually assaulted or sexually abused or like even like just like approached on the wrong intention, and no one is except on the same way to do it. Like sometimes we feel like he would never. We like no one is exempt. Anyone could do it,
and that's kind of scary too. But
it is pretty scary.
But it was nice that they handled it the right way, the neighborhood at least, and that was justice
not,
done.
Not only the neighborhood, the drummer on his Instagram account.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, like right away, like I did. He owned up to it. He said, "I did this on this place. This was
Yeah.
the reason. I'm not trying to justify. I just want to explain what happened. I'm sorry,
And he
I will
accepted the
take
punishment.
Yeah, like I will take the full weight of justice and like consequences, like responsibly. Blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
And
so it's like that's the way to go.
That's like a rare sight to see.
Whether it happens out of fear
Yeah.
of like being canceled or it happens from like true honesty and repentance,
We don't know. Yeah.
it's still what victims deserve. They deserve justice.
ownership, and ownership.
Yeah,
of
and ownership of like
because
acts
sometimes they
and-
want to do like, oh, this was done to me, you know.
Mhm.
And it's in contrast to
Others.
Swimmers.
Yeah.
That was a band. It was like another rock band, indie rock band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it was like the main singer. He was dating actually Lydia, the main singer from
From The Regrets?
The Regrets,
Yeah.
you know, the band that is like ending as we're speaking. You know, sad about that. But
Didn't they play a gig yesterday?
yeah, they were like, I think it's
Like
like
their
the
last
entire
gig.
like these 4 days. Like we're
Okay.
recording is like December. We're recording this.
Right now it's
December 31st
31st. Yeah.
as we're recording this. That's crazy.
Insane.
But yeah, Lydia, she like released an Instagram post saying that the singer was like saying that the singer had been dating her and essentially like groomed her and assaulted her and was like really abusive and they did all these horrible things to her
Yeah.
while the relationship she was a minor. And instead of them like
Owning
saying,
up to
oh
it.
yeah, it's like they were like came up with like no, we actually no, they were like, came up with excuses and completely ignored it, never
Like
apologized.
defending, yeah.
Nothing.
And that's just foul.
And I liked some of their songs. I like some of their songs
Yeah.
before that came out, and then when they were like, yeah, no, that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like really
Then
want
you
to
gotta
listen to
make a
this.
choice.
Yeah, I don't really
Then
want
you
to
gotta
listen to this
decide,
anymore
yeah.
because I firmly believe in separating the art of the artist. Because like, for example, the Buttertones, one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
I think they have a really special, unique sound, and they had some issues as well, but some sexual and you know misbehavior, and they yeah, I mean it's true. It's true.
Sounds like being a little bit nutty.
They were being silly because you know boys will be boys. It was actually really bad, but yeah, they had some issues as well, and while that was happening, they kind of like took a bit of a pause, and it wasn't sure if they were going to continue or not. But I still kept listening to their music because it was really good. You know, it was really good. And they did drop the band members that were involved in those things, and then they came back with a whole new lineup of bands, and like only two of the
Back at
originals.
it, yeah.
And they continued making music, and that was better because they were like they took action. You know, let them go, and like taking on a new leaf. And I don't feel bad as listening to them or their previous stuff because they did do something about it.
Yeah, and it's the way to go. Like another example is actually Somersault.
Somersault.
They had one artist. One member. I don't remember if it's the guitar player or the bassist, but his name
So
is
it's a
Phil.
guitar player.
Phil was involved in something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
There was something happened, and even though he's on the cover of the first two EPs or whatever, they dropped him, and they continued the band. At the beginning, it was 4 of them. Then it remained with only 2, which is Matthew and some other guy, and then they just rebuilt the band from like the core 2. And like they did what needed to be done, and I feel like
Yeah, and without, and this can be like a kind of a selfish thing, but like the band continues.
Yeah.
you know, like you did.
and the show must go on.
The show was on. Like you drop the people the people that did those things,
You find new people,
and then and the art can still continue. Like because it's sad when like the art is sacrificed because of people's mistakes. Like I always say this. It's like being an indie rock fan is like, oh, finding a band that you like, you know, listening to a couple songs, this is pretty good, and then like, oh, the sexual assault, and then the band ends. It's like, that's the journey of an indie rock fan, and yeah,
it's really a bad time to be a rock fan.
It really is a bad time to be a rock fan, and you shouldn't sacrifice such a good thing as art because of like
just because you want to defend someone's
because of the imperfection of human beings, and relating to this is Jonathan Majors, the actor who played King the Conqueror in the MCU, and he was a really good actor. Yeah, really, like honestly, it's just given the guy was really good. I was telling you that he had a movie lineup that had really like great reviews on the festivals. It was gonna be like a big thing, and apparently he did a good job on it. And now it's gone because as the time of we were recording this, like a couple of weeks ago, he was declared guilty for assaulting. For like issues with his girlfriend and you know having done some stuff there, and Marvel Studios dropped him, so he's not gonna be playing him anymore. and the movie that he made is
not
not
gonna come
scheduled
out of
anymore,
it,
and
yeah.
it's probably never gonna come out, which is a pity because it's the poor director, the writer,
Yeah.
everybody else. They had nothing to do with that.
Everybody else being affected just
By-
by the
by him.
actions of like one
Yeah,
person.
and he himself like trashed his career.
Yeah.
Which is it's kind of sad to see that, like, why did you have to do these things? Why did you have to like hurt this person?
Yeah.
And why did you have to like, like ruin the art?
Yeah. Yeah, and then comes the question of what after that. Because, for example, if you think about it, maybe Robert Downey Jr., he had a dark past and he made
And then
mistakes.
he went to prison and he owned it,
did
and then
his
he built it
time,
up.
and then he tried again. But I feel like back then things were different. I don't even know if like Jonathan Majors were to go
Because there was
to
Prison.
like prison and
He
do
will
his
be
time and whatever,
sentenced
and
in like
come back in like
February.
in a specific number of years. Like I don't know if
People
like our generation and society.
like, for
will
example, Kevin
give
Spacey.
second
Kevin
chances.
Spacey, he's done. You can look it up what he's done. But Kevin Spacey's same situation, and he's like, I think he's like been trying to get back into movies and everything, but don't really know how that goes.
Yeah,
it's,
and that's like a whole cloud of like different cases.
That's
There's
a whole-
Ezra Miller and how he handled things, and there's a question of, do I say sorry because I want to save my career, or do I say sorry because I mean it because I actually am? But at the end of the day, it's all about. I feel, in my opinion, I feel like it's all about, and it all comes down to the victims getting respect and
Their
the victims
justice.
getting justice.
yeah.
But then again, I cannot kind of like just do unthinkable things for the victims, because artists deserve justice as well. That's why
Everybody-
I want
yeah.
to, like, everybody does, and that's why it comes back to innocent until proven
proven
guilty.
guilty.
Because for example, with Eric Surge County, it was not just, and it wasn't justice to have to go through all that he did because of that. As a matter of fact, he canceled an entire tour on the UK around the time the first accusations were made, because people like were just getting really angry.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I understand the anger, but I don't
Yeah, like
understand
it's coming out in a
jumping to
good place, but it's like
conclusions.
jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
And then like
That's
immediately like
problematic.
boycotting everything that
Yeah.
he's done. And like I said, if the art doesn't support the actions that he's done,
Yeah.
then it should be good. And as long as, like, for example, with swimmers, they kept on denying it.
Yeah.
Then I couldn't keep listening to that, because it's like, okay, you're still going on with this behavior,
And then-
you're not owning up to it. I cannot like
And
support this
stains,
anymore.
Yeah, that stains your art and that stains your craft.
That
but then
serves your
again,
image.
that's part of the that's one face of the coin. The other face of the coin is knowing that regardless of like actions and whatever, the craft is the craft. And
then
then you
you-
were watching
Tar, which is we're gonna make an episode about Tar
yeah,
eventually.
and we'll talk about it. But like just to prove this point and kind of like illustrate what my point is. She's in this, like in the movie, giving a
She's giving a
talk
class,
about
yeah.
like Bach, Johannes Sebastian Bach, and she explains how this character is like so eager to like not want to know anything about him, so eager to be
And, like,
offended
yeah, like-
by his past, like by the past of the composer,
because he was a cisgender white male, and he had a lot of kids. Because
European male.
the guy that's arguing, I don't want to listen to him. I don't want to study him. He's a member of the
of the
LGBTQ community.
He's brown. He's like probably Latino or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's a person of color. You know.
Uh-huh. And then like Tar tells him like don't be so eager to be offended. That's the first part. I feel like
Yeah.
our generation, it's so
We really
eager
are, you know,
to be
to
offended
like pick
about
up a
everything.
fight.
Yeah.
And like
Just, like,
my
go for
point
it. Mhm.
is my point.
And we
I'm not
like
even gonna
winning.
listen.
We really like
We're
winning.
prideful people.
And then the second part, it's like she tells him that how if Johannes Sebastian Bach can be judged by his color of skin, by the place where he was born from, by things he cannot control, and then by his cultural context where he was
his personal
born
thing,
into and when he was born into,
Yeah.
then so can you.
So like
And-
if somebody is great, undeniably as great as Bach, can be judged, then what chance like does the student have, who probably
Yeah.
will never amount to this? So it's like if we judge people by things that they can control, like I don't know, sexual orientation or culture, or even like the mistakes that are done, because everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody.
Some of them are
Everybody.
public, and some of them are not.
Yeah, and we are
Everybody's
not good people. Like
We're
people
not.
in general, like we're not perfect, and we're not the artists that we see on media. And life is not like roses.
Yeah, no, people are imperfect, and I feel like we need to, like, honestly, just have like grace, you know, not in supporting the terrible things people do.
Yeah, but like art. Yeah, but instead of like giving the craft a chance.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like we gotta understand that people are flawed. We are flawed, and art is one of the most humans, if not the most human of expressions.
Yeah, definitely.
And
If we like close off to like it's like if like also like the same way like if somebody that does not support the LGBT community,
yeah.
like if they just close off to it,
Mm-hmm.
like it's really like the art because there really is like a bunch of like LGBT community artists like that have some really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you like overall, if you like close off to like something just because you don't believe in what the person,
That's your loss.
that's and because
That's
what the
your
person,
loss.
that's their personal life. You know, you don't have to agree with it. And you know, as long as like I said, like if like the art, like in a terrible case, like if somebody's making like art about sexual assault,
Yeah.
and like that's
It's right.
that's
like
hurt.
it
That's
exists,
wrong.
It happens.
That's
It
wrong.
really does.
Definitely don't support it. You know, so as long as you don't support like the actions, you know,
yeah.
you know, as long
And the
as you can still
ideology.
condemn
Yeah.
and like recognize the artist it is if it doesn't have anything to do with
Yeah,
it.
like think of, for example, like I don't know, think of Chris Brown and like his horrible background and story with Rihanna, and still his music's still playing to this day, probably in stores, probably in H&M, probably in like Zara. I don't care. Like it's more about like whatever happened before that, like that's the craft, and whatever happens after that, then that's up for discussion. But it's like, just think about it this way: don't block yourself from getting to like
opening your horizons in a way.
yeah, just because like somebody offends you, like, and it's a very very thin line between like, am I supporting and am I how do you say this, like defending like this bad actions from this person, or am I simply separating two things and accepting that craft is good, the crafter or the artist not so much. But at the end of the day, that's a decision like that comes up to each one of us, like, and we gotta make daily,
whatever like fits better, like like whatever you feel comfortable with. I know I don't have a problem like listening to some of the bands that we mentioned, like because I still enjoy the music, like Symposium,
and
they also
Dreams,
have
like their music's still good, and the Neighborhood, their songs are extremely good still, and so that's that.
Swimmers,
I haven't heard Swimmers. I would have to listen to Swimmers.
I'll probably play some Swimmers just so you know.
Sure.
But wow.
Well, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I feel like we're reaching the end of our
episode. Our conversation.
Yeah, I think you went pretty well. We discussed we discussed a lot of things with the art, but you know, in the end, this is what it's about. Just talking about whatever, and you know,
it's all about art.
It's everything is about art. Everything is about the smash hit known as Ratatouille.
Exactly. Ratatouille is live.
Yeah.
Ratatouille is live. Anyway, so for closers, let's talk a little bit about what we have been up to art-wise and like consuming art-wise. So let's talk about music. What have you been listening to lately?
That's what have I been listening to? Well, on the episode that we made yesterday, I recommended Beach House, especially the album Depression Cherry, because we were actually like listening in the Zoom like before we went to
watching the live.
I want to listen to a record when we go to bed. And I was like, let me play you something real sexy. It's gonna be Beach House.
What did I recommend yesterday?
I don't remember. No, because you recommended. I think it was a show or something. I don't remember.
No, I remember what show I recommended, but music-wise, let me think.
But yeah, what do you think? I'm just gonna give a little background on Depression Cherry. Yeah,
it's good.
It's a really good album. It's one of the best albums in my opinion. It's from some really good stuff in the 2010s.
Yeah,
Beach House is a great band overall. Has Space Song, which is a fantastic song. It's all over TikTok. And one of my favorite songs of all time, PPP, which is it's in my opinion is like what life sounds like.
Yeah,
life, being birth, you know, being born, you know, living, you know, and then dying. It's a beautiful song. And if you want to listen to it while red lights are in your room, that's definitely a good album to listen to.
Okay.
What about you?
Good. Well, I don't remember what I recommended yesterday.
The episode we recorded yesterday.
But I will say that today, as we were like on the vinyl play, like I want to recommend After Laughter by Paramore. I love that.
You were looking at the Paramore.
I was looking for it. It's kind of
like
not
a face,
completely different from what they were doing back in the 2000s. It's
they
not
did
rock at all.
They did take a whole new life.
It's a whole new path. It's like super pop-ish, and it really talks about.
We should talk about like artists reinventing themselves. Yeah.
Is it allowed or is it not allowed? We'll talk about it.
Yeah. That's a topic.
So there's that in music. about movies or shows?
Oh, I know that we watched Edge of Tomorrow. We watched it. It's a really good movie because I was like, before it came out and like whenever I saw it, I was like, oh, it's like side around. I was like, oh, it's just another Tom Cruise action movie where he's a hero. It's actually pretty good. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah,
and I was like, it's very like.
good.
Honestly, it's a good story.
It's
a pretty actually
the visual
surprising
effects
movie.
are extremely heavy.
Yeah, because like they have like they're really like they have like mecha like mech suits, and they're like there were practical effects for that.
Actual, yeah.
Yeah, like Emily Blunt, who's in the movie, she plays the co-lead. She would like cry because it was like really heavy.
So heavy, yeah.
Yeah, and the movie's like has a lot of like anime experience and influences in it.
Yeah,
and it was like because it's actually based on. I was thinking that when I was like watching the movie, and I came to this, it's actually based on a Japanese light novel. Title All You Need Is
It
Kill.
reminds me of a lot of stuff. It reminds me of Attack on Titan. It
It's very
reminds me of Pacific Rim.
dude. I just love Americans. I just love humans like building robots to beat the crap out of aliens. You know?
Yeah,
there's something so human about that.
The urge to just build up mech at the start.
The human
Urge,
to just build
mecha.
to build weapons and just like destroy. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Recommend it. I recommend
Definitely watch it. On my side, I would recommend a show. It's called One Eye Samurai.
Oh,
It's
you've
on
been telling me to
Netflix.
watch it. Yeah.
It's the best. It's so good visually, like the illustration and the animation. It's amazing. The music, it's impeccable. It's a little bit gory, a little bit rated. So careful.
Not on my
with who you're
Christian
watching
Minecraft
it with,
server.
But
It's like when you see those
extremely
memes,
good.
like this show when I'm watching it alone, and then this show when my parents watch
Oh,
it.
yeah. Please do not watch it with your parents. But it's very good. It's kind of like taking Samurai Jack, from
Samurai
Adult
Jack.
Swim, and then Love, Death and Robots.
Oh,
from
that's
Netflix,
pretty good.
And mixing like the Japanese aesthetics with the goriness and ratedness from Love, Death and Robots is extremely good. So make sure to check that out.
All right.
And
Well, I think that's it.
is it. I will travel very soon, so we will see you.
Eventually. Well,
Eventually.
where can we find you?
Well, yeah, you can find me on both X and Instagram as at Mr. Cortesito, Mr. Cortesito, MrCortesito. And
Is that on Twitter as well?
that's on Twitter, and that's on any other
Instagram,
social media that you can think of. It's probably the same thing. How about you?
You can find me on Instagram as Emmanuel Dad Polonia, and then on Twitter, now known as X, is _ that Colombian.
Yeah.
_ because somebody had taken it already.
That Colombian.
Yeah, we'll lift the links to everything.
Right, perfect. Yeah, we will leave the links, and we're also going to leave the links to our Spotify account so you can check our playlists.
Yeah, and we're also gonna leave some of those links to the songs that we played,
For sure,
album, and the stuff that we recommend.
Yeah, all the media that we
We're
mentioned,
gonna supply
you're gonna
you
find it.
with everything you need in your life. You don't
With
even have to
everything you
worry.
need to supply
Except for
to
food.
support your
Support
planetarium.
Planetarius.
So,
All right,
yeah.
that was everything.
That's
All right,
it.
bye bye.
We'll see you. See you.